Welcome back to the Skyfall Sessions. Let's get into some hurricane news.
Ron DeSantis and Kamala Harris are right now having a pretty public feud about the response to Hurricane Helene, with both accusing the other of being overly political in how they are responding to that hurricane. Now, I believe one of them has a little bit more of a case to be made, but I will present the evidence to you and you can decide. DeSantis was the first one that was sort of asked about this on Fox. So let's play that to get us started.
Governor, I know Kamala Harris called you selfish. She said she's tried to contact you to talk to you about hurricane relief. And I know that you said I think you said she didn't try to contact you. We want to get your response.
Well, I think she should look in.
Okay, wow. I didn't know she called him selfish, but he probably is being selfish if he's doing what I think he's doing.
The mirror. We've been on an emergency footing for 2 weeks straight, round the clock, 24/7. So that's been my sole focus. My focus has not been on dealing with Kamala Harris. I saw the news report. I didn't know she tried to contact me, but I'd also say it's not about you, Kamala. It's about the people of Florida.
Okay, so that's a BS parfait. There are
I love John, man. Yeah, in that situation there, if she was not trying to contact him and she was lying, of course, that she's in the wrong. She's lying. However, if she was trying to contact him and he really did not respond, he's really playing politics with people's lives right now.
multiple layers of BS. First of all, he didn't immediately even answer the question because he didn't want to. Because you know why? Because she did try to contact him. He does know that she tried to contact him and he just didn't want to talk to her. Okay. Also saying it's not about you. What exactly do you think the phone call is supposed to be about, Ron DeSantis? Do you think she wants to talk about clothing or hobbies or weekend plans? She's the VP. You guys are complaining constantly that you don't have the resources you need to deal with this. The federal government is trying desperately to contact you. You refuse to talk to them. And then you say, I'm too focused on the people of Florida.
Oh man, it's so performative, and that's what's wrong with most politicians these days, especially on the right wing. Ron DeSantis is one of the ones that was running for president next to Trump. He's better than Trump, sure, but he's not much better. He's pretty horrible, as you can clearly see here.
Who would probably like the aid that the federal government can provide. This is political. It's 100% political, not the call, the rejection of the call, and then to imply that it's something personal or something that he doesn't have time for. You're a governor. We're in the wake of a natural disaster. That's generally the time when Democrat or Republican, we set aside all the BS and come together. You know,
Yeah, you come together, and not only that, this is the vice president of the United States. Do you have no respect?
Stuff of like, Barack Obama and Chris Christie walking on a destroyed beach or whatever. Like, that's what we do. We come together in times like this, but not Ron DeSantis. And if you're a conservative who's watching this, understand that the people who suffer as a result of his unwillingness to do what governors are supposed to do, it's not the Democrats, except for Democrats living in Florida. It's not Harris. It's you. It's Florida Republicans. He is rejecting assistance to make some sort of point on Fox and Friends.
Right.
And if your house has been destroyed, if you've lost friends and family, if your business is shut down, if critical infrastructure is destroyed, and you have on the one hand, help from the government, and on the other hand, Fox and Friends says that Ron DeSantis was cool this morning.
Yeah, which one do you want? Like, politics should not be about what feels good or about vibes. It should be about action. It should be about the things that help the American people. And it should be about policy. All of this back and forth with my candidate versus your candidate is just stupid.
Which are you going to go with? Okay, if you're being silent about what's happening right now, you have already decided.
It'd be sadder if it weren't so. It would be less sad if it weren't so wholly unoriginal. I think folks who have a decent enough memory will remember Obamacare. The ACA was passed. We had the Medicaid expansion in which the federal government was funding it. No strings attached. Basically, states were getting free money to expand Medicaid, and pretty much every single red state in America denied the free money for their citizens. Like this happened. And then, over the course of years, like there were some states that had referendums. And of course, inevitably, the people were like, yes, we want free federal money to fund health insurance. Like it seems so obvious. This is just more of the same. Like these red state politicians playing politics with the well-being and livelihood of their constituents to score political points, personal political points. It's this,
And it's not just, it is disgusting. It's not just their livelihood, it's their lives itself. This hurricane is going to be one of the most devastating we've ever seen in Florida.
same playbook. It's just made all the more sad because this is just an immediate and obvious glaring need in terms of what the federal funding would do. But I can't say I'm surprised. This has been a playbook for a while now.
Yeah, and by the way, like we should be critical of the efforts by the Republicans to make things stay as bad as they can to get some sort of benefit for the election. But also, Ron DeSantis in that clip mentioned we've been on a war footing for 2 weeks. You know that 2 weeks, that takes us back to when every congressional Republican in the Florida delegation voted ahead of the hurricanes in hurricane season, but before the 2 hurricanes, voted down additional funding to FEMA to deal with stuff like this. So we're entering into a period of months of hurricanes.
All right, so here are the facts. In a recent stopgap funding bill for things like FEMA disaster relief, Matt Gaetz and Anna Paulina Luna, both Republican Congress people from Florida, voted against the bill, according to Truth Out and Open to Debate. And they did know that Milton was on the way. This was only 2 weeks ago. So that's how much the Republicans actually care about your lives.
Say no. We have the hurricane, and then they say no. If you're a Republican in Florida, how have you convinced yourself that this is to your benefit? I can see how it's to their political benefit, particularly when you don't seem to care that they're screwing you over in this way. But again, I want to turn now to Harris. So she said, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now. And playing political games at this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of the emergency situations. It's just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
Okay, so this is a little bit political, but she's still right. I mean, she's obviously using it to her advantage because she's smart, but she's also correct because you shouldn't be playing politics. It's just ironic that she's playing politics by telling somebody else not to play politics.
So a reporter had asked about DeSantis refusing to accept the multiple calls that she has made to try to help. An aide to DeSantis apparently said that the call seemed political. Well, it is a politician. And, disaster relief, I guess, is a policy. But also, how the hell do you know that you didn't answer the call? How would you know that it is political? And even if it's political, take the money for the people of Florida, many of whom are Republicans and are desperately in need of help. Again, if you're a conservative,
who cares if it's political?
Which do you prefer? Assistance or avoiding looking political?
Yeah. We don't care about looking political if we're trying to save lives here. Like, bro, common sense, people.
Because again, in this case, he's decided for you. So anyway, I think we have one more clip. This is the end to the Fox interview that we showed you. We're going to play this.
Just to conclude, you have what you need from the federal government, as well as you feel like you have the resources in place. Is that correct?
Every request we've made, and I've been in contact with the president. I've been in contact with the FEMA director. It's interesting. Harris is not even in the chain of command.
Yeah, what is
she
she
has no
even doing?
role in this. I mean, the idea that I should be.
Why does he? What is she even doing with this? She's not in the chain of command. I don't know. She's the vice president. I think that's pretty high up in the chain of command. I'm pretty sure that the vice president comes right before the president. I'm pretty sure that if something happens to the president, the vice president becomes the president. So I do think that's in the chain of command.
Be like worrying about her when I'm focused on the task at hand is just quite frankly absurd. So yes, all of our requests have been answered.
Okay.
Wait, all of the requests have been answered. I'm curious to know exactly what that means.
Okay, so to be clear, Florida has everything they need. So if we hear a single Republican saying that the Democrats have screwed over Florida or something, he's already pre-bunked that. It's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
Also, it's the federal government that's helping them. Look, the Democrats actually helping out, not like Trump, who had to be convinced that there were Republicans in California, so I guess I'll help with the wildfire cleanup.
Yeah, check out the other videos so you can see some information on that.
And this weird obsessive thing where I'll talk to FEMA and I'll talk to the president, but I refuse to talk to the vice president because she's not in the chain of command. First of all, she's in the chain of command. What the hell are you talking about? But also I don't know how you make the case better than he just did that this is political. The election is a couple weeks away. He doesn't want to deal with her because her doing something objectively helpful might look good for her. So I'm not going to do that. Again, any final point, Waz, on this?
It's just a crap show. And, you know, I wish that the focus would be on what people needed. Less FaceTime for Ron DeSantis and more focus in our media coverage and, you know, in terms of where our resources are going to people that really need it, because there's folks without power and, you know, indoor plumbing, and it's elderly people who have a hard time getting things going on their own to begin with. I would just wish that would be, you know, most of the focus.
Right. Yeah, people's lives are on the line. That's what it comes down to. People's lives are on the line, and Ron DeSantis is playing a political game, and that's what's wrong with most Republicans, in my opinion. Most Republican politicians, that is, in my opinion. Republican voters, stop voting for them. Like, I don't know why you're doing that. I mean, sure, vote Republican if you want, but can you please vote for somebody who like cares and not these crazy people? Anyways, that's all I got for this one. I want to pray for all the people out there. Please say prayers for all the people that are in Florida right now, for Milton on the way. And catch you next time. If you can, please like and subscribe to the channel. New, like I always say, brand new channel and trying to get it going. So any help is appreciated. Thanks.